Hey guys, I've got 3 updates I want to share with you in today's Monday update video. Something about the Linescales, spreadsheet I've been working really hard on, and edutainment theory, and kind of a review of the courses and the courses to come. The Linescale 3s are finally in stock. He has about 30 of them on the shelf. What's really cool about that is it's been 18 months since basically we crowdfunded to make the Linescale 3. I helped design the thing. I don't ship them. I don't make them. Line Grip Incorporated does. But I was really involved in the process. And finally on the shelf, right? Whenever anybody wanted them, they were always on back order or were waiting. And me as an investor in this, I didn't get paid to promote it. I paid to promote it because this really, really helps add a lot of value to the channel. I need this to make How Not To. And I couldn't have this without having obviously more than just the 10 I need. And so it was really cool. 150 other people invested in it to make it a possibility. Otherwise, I would have just kind of been stuck. But now you can, right now, go and buy them and he would ship them the next day, which is insane because that hasn't even happened since Linescale 1, I think in 2014 was the last time he had these on the shelf. Otherwise, he kind of made them in 100 batches and to order. And so people would pay for them and then wait forever for them, but you don't have to anymore. And now that I've used these for months, and you've seen them in multiple episodes at this point, and I've had 50 episodes in the bank you'll see them in, I have learned a lot. Now, when I have time, I'm gonna make a whole How Not to Use the Linescale 3 video as kind of an entertaining but very helpful video on how to use them and how not to use them, because I have got quite a few videos under my belt now, not just using them in real life loads, but also brake testing with them. This only goes up to 30 kilonewtons before the screen gets damaged. And so you can't brake test everything with that. But the aluminum body doesn't break until, like, the one time we did test it was I think 103 kilonewtons. So it's super strong, super safe, but you're not gonna be able to brake test more than a carabiner per se. We did test these with I-screws in Iceland, and that barely worked, but we were like pushing the limits of it. Now I'll just run through like 5 quick tips real quick, the short version of how not to use the Linescale 3, and then I'll get into the spreadsheet. You can skip around in the timestamps below if you don't want to hear this. But if you take a short sling like this and you basket it, it actually is going to be the easiest if you don't have or want to make or know how to make soft shackles and you just want to buy something off the shelf. He also has some plastic and aluminum cases you can buy with it that in my situation, I kind of like cut out a slot so I can do this and keep it in the case at the same time. So it protects like the screen mostly. But that's because I'm brake testing things and things go flying. You can also, of course, use soft shackles on this. If you are going to use a carabiner, you want to use an oval carabiner. Any D-shape or non-symmetrical carabiners are going to pull on the metal weird. It's basically nothing more than a wire that goes back and forth on the back of this thing, and as the aluminum changes shape, it changes the voltage of the electricity going through, and it reads the difference. As you can see here, as you squeeze the aluminum body, it changes the voltage going through there and gives you a different reading. So knowing that, you don't want to girth hitch it because it's not pulling evenly on the metal, and it's a sensitive device. You'll also notice it flickers in some videos because it's a more upgraded screen that, with some exposures, usually when it's bright outside, does that. It's fine in person, it doesn't flicker in person. Now there's absolute zero mode and relative zero mode. I just kind of go with relative zero because the temperature of the aluminum body does change absolute zero. So I'll just push 0 and then I'll do my test. Now, to brake test something, you want to put what I call a fuse in the system. And I did test tubular webbing, tied in a water knot, and if you put that on there, it should break before the screen.
Perfect.
And you want something that'll catch it if it does fly the other way. But you can push the limits of this if you have something else that'll break before it. And so that's the little hack about using this to get into the high 20s brake tests, which is what we also did in Iceland, was put a fuse in the system. And before the V-thread broke, the carabiner, which is what we used as a fuse, broke. And just makes for great slow-mo. Now I think these will sell quickly and then it'll be months again before they are in stock. So go grab one if you've been on the fence on whether or not you wanted to get one. And I have a code in the description for $20 off. We do change it a lot so it doesn't end up on like honey or something. So if it doesn't work, email me at ryan@slackline.com and I'll make sure I give you some coupon code. We always at least have something going through the How Not To channel. Now Andy Riedrich from Line Group Incorporated let me have 3 loaner units, which I was able to give to Tanner, who weighs almost 300 pounds. And his wife is about 100 pounds. And his local climbing gym was willing to let them basically repeat the lead falls and gym climbing video so they could take whippers in the gym with 3 line scales attached at all the points to see what kind of force differences there are if you have a bigger climber and then a smaller climber catching that person with an ohm. And so I'm pretty excited about that coming out. Tanner's literally sending me the footage today, and you can keep your eye out in a couple Wednesdays for that because I'm going to definitely expedite that video, which leads me to the second announcement. I basically spent a week working on a spreadsheet to basically organize all the episodes I have in the past, already published, and the ones that are on the books. Because I'm coordinating with like 30, 40 people at all times. It kind of gets busy. I'm a very overcommitted kind of a guy. And I organized it all. And that link is in the description below. So if you want to see the shit show, you go look at the spreadsheet. And you can see that I'm 50-ish episodes unedited that are, most of them are already filmed or very committed to film before the end of the year. Which means the rest of the year is booked. Like if I post twice a week, which is hard because I edit everything myself, that's, and like how many times you guys really want me to post every week, I'm full for the year, which means I'm going to try to adult better and plan my 2023 better. And that's also on the spreadsheet in the tab below called the budget. And I'm going to budget the 100 episodes that I know I can do in the year and how many would be for climbing and caving and for trying to see if I can do more for arborists. It's a very engaged group. Trying to see if I can devote some videos to that. And if we are only going to be able to devote 10 to one group, I want to make sure they're like premium, that we cram as much into it as possible and still keep it in a 10 to 20 minute range. I definitely don't need to milk episodes, and I want to just do the best videos possible knowing there's no limit to the amount of content I can make. But I want to be able to make them not so complicated that I can't post twice a week. Because like the Sweden video that I posted was 60 hours of editing, right? And then the Dan Osman video that I'm trying to produce, it's at least 100 because it's such a cool project. I want, they're my passion projects. But these break test videos, the Mythbustery videos, and the course videos all kind of are what the brand is built on, and I want to make sure I hone in on that, keep it efficient, collaborate with the right people, and should be able to put out 100 videos a year, no problem. No problem. Now what that spreadsheet allows me to do is actually hire help where I can best use it. If there's something where I want to timestamp like 30 videos once I go through all of them, and I'm like, wow, these need to be timestamped, or somebody needs to watch all this and put the data in a chart, because when I originally was break testing like 30 things, I wouldn't do that. I was like, just watch the video. But then I want to go back and reference this stuff, and I'm like, damn it, I have to go watch the whole video. So I can have somebody help with something like that. Don't hit me up yet. I'm not ready for help. And I might just try to use Fiverr because, I don't know, it's just easier when you pay somebody. But this allows me to scale. This allows me to be better, put out better content, timestamp more stuff, data more stuff, chart more stuff, and just make this stuff in a form you want. And not everything fits into a video. It's nice when I can blog stuff or just written form. And so I created a filtering system, much like for a store, because I know I have I literally have 500 episodes either made or going to be made, right? So at the end of the year, I have 500 episodes that you are gonna have a hard time finding. Playlists only do so much. The Google search function only does so much. But if you wanna see every cam video we tested, or every glue-in bolt we tested, or every sandstone thing we tested, or every highline rigging example we tested, like the playlists don't do that. So the filter system, the system's done, but now I have to enter all this stuff in, and that's what the spreadsheet's for. And wherever I get into the super tedious stuff is where I can hire it out. So I don't think I'm gonna get jammed up. But now that I have a written outlet, something I can edit, adjust, and change after I hit publish, because I can't do that on a video. And I have thoughts after I get you guys' feedback. I have a behind the scenes section where I just talk about like why I made the video and just the inspiration for it. Things that just don't really belong in the description per se underneath the video. And then after posting thoughts. And then a lot of times you guys will give me great feedback and now I have a place to put that. And so the blogs is really gonna be what I focus on. It also makes me independent from YouTube and Google and the almighty algorithm. So as I collect emails and share the newest and latest episodes through email, it doesn't make me reliant on the algorithm in case you get canceled, hacked, or whatever, or Google's just wants to be a dick. It's nice to have the brand stand independent on a new website. The new website is going to be completely revamped and look professional, not like a 12-year-old made it. Right now it's organized and clean and works, but it's going to be so much better. Basically, the new website, the blog system, and the spreadsheet is all my current investment of money and time, whereas last year it was learning how to break stuff better and the drop tower. She got some really cool drop tower videos coming out. You can see that on the spreadsheet. Now let's talk about courses. A couple years ago, I overkilled Highlining 101. I was a procrastinating perfectionist. And eventually I tried to have it behind a paywall and I just nobody saw it. And nobody really wants to pay for courses, right? And sometimes you only want a piece of the course. You don't need the whole thing. And you don't know if it's worth watching, even if it's worth your time or money. I like the idea of a free course because I really only need 1% of the audience to support the channel for it to be viable. And so it all comes out the same, but more people get to watch it. Anyways, I put out Highlining 101 finally as on YouTube, on the main channel, packaged up all these small things, and they were like 30, 40-minute videos with timestamps, which is super helpful. The timestamp thing really helps for the courses. Just put them on YouTube. Put a good title. People find it, and they find themselves in a course, and then they can find themselves, and they go find the beginning of the course. And that took too long. So Brent and I filmed the Canyon one with the script kind of more pre-written, with it more intentional to be filmed in like 2 to 3 days. And then we went to the lab, which the videos that you're gonna see this Wednesday or the next Wednesday are more like the tests. And the tests are separate from the talking, which I'm gonna change in the next course. And I'm gonna just bring up the tests as they're relevant in the course. But I definitely like the idea of A to Z content because we kind of scroll all over the place on this channel. And I really want to deliver finished product and ideas to you guys, kind of like the Bolting Bible is, but in video form. So once we get this course thing dialed, we're going to kind of dissect the Bolting Bible, turn it into a course, put it into blogs so you can Google it. It's not a PDF sitting on the internet. And I can change it. So when people give me ideas, updates, things I need to fix, or we make a new video and realize something, it's so easy to change a blog. It sucks changing a PDF. And I know there's other book systems out there, but books are hard. Books are hard to update. Blogs are not. And so with the filter system, you can search exactly what you want in what's going to be a 300 or 400 page Bolting Bible. Nobody's going to read that. That's just not a thing you read. It's more like an encyclopedia that you reference. But a course with maybe 6 videos on how to install a bolt and 1 to how to take them out. And point to all the videos that we've made already if you want to chase a rabbit, but big picture, more like a table of contents, with the experience that Bobby and I have now after breaking, I think, over 400 bolts. It's going to be just way better. That's why it's nice to revisit this stuff over and over. Now the next course, the Big Wall course, is going to be 12 videos. And a couple things I learned with the Canyon course is we're going to just have 2 of us share stories. Now, I have a lot more experience with big walling. It's going to be a lot easier naturally because of that. And Jeremiah, who's going to co-host it with me, is a high school teacher, and he's done about a dozen walls. What's nice about him co-hosting it with me is edutainment is a science in itself, and I think he's actually very good at teaching and breaking things down and articulating. So it'll be really great to do that. And what's cool is we're going to actually do it at Brent's house again with that wall because we can actually demonstrate all the big wall stuff without the wind that's on El Capitan. And while we're trying not to get to the top of a big wall, we can just focus in a controlled environment, cut to scenes that are on a big wall to show you a real life scenario, cut to the lab where we break test entire concepts and link up to videos that we've already tested to just kind of take this web of stuff and help somebody who's just showing up for the big wall courses for the first time, understanding, basically bringing them up to speed of everything we learned in the channel in these 12 videos. And we're trying to keep them 30, 40 minutes long, timestamps, something you can skip around if you want. And the way we title and thumbnail and slow release them, I think it's more important to help people find this stuff, to know it exists. Because there's a lot of cool stuff on the internet there's like cool stuff on bolting that I find I've done so much homework and research on bolting and I'm still finding stuff and it just kind of gets lost. So it's kind of cool to bring it all together. And what's really neat is with the blog thing I keep talking about is the way the textbook is going to be updatable. So like the whole point is like the video is only half the value. If you go to the written material, we can keep adding stuff, add short clips. If you go to our other channel, How Not To Clips, it's kind of where I'm just throwing random clips that aren't that valuable by themselves, but I need them to live on the internet. And so they're like sometimes a minute, sometimes 10 minutes, and there's not a lot of editing put in them. But I can then point to these clips, which means you can have another 30 minutes of content per section that I can add as time goes. Or if other people are like, hey, I saw your video and I think this is a better idea, and they shoot me a 2-minute clip, oh my God. Like it could just grow, just like the bolting Bible. I don't think this information is static, and it's really hard to keep chasing it while chasing bolt stuff, while chasing an entire new category of arborist stuff. It's really hard breaking gear here for all extreme sports, but I think I can be organized enough to do it. So something I think we can do better than the Canyon course is, I have experience and Jeremiah has experience. So I think that helps. Rather than Brent showing complex things to somebody who hasn't mastered them yet, I did review the content a lot, but I was trying to ask questions that I think the audience might have wanted to know. It was hard. Knowing the content's gonna be way easier. The other thing I learned in the Canyon course was we started pretty complex and then just dove into each one. But with the Big Wall course, half is going up the rock, half is living on the rock. But we're gonna start like simple and like work our way up. And everything's obvious in hindsight. But I think that's really gonna be the focus, is being like, this is the basics, you got that? Bring you up to the next level, bring you up to the next level. Because it's really hard when you got all this stuff in your head, how to organize it. And how to compact it into 12 videos, because honestly it should be 100. But it's only gonna be version 1. What's cool is once we have built out the blogs to be like more than the video content, like the Bolting Bible has kind of done that as well, then we can make like an entire second version, maybe even with like more people. Too many people in the same videos could get complicated, but like 2 years down the road, I'm gonna be better at filming, editing, and distributing all this stuff.
Hey everyone, Brent here, jumping in on Ryan's Monday update. This has been an ongoing project of mine, writing out on paper for almost 2 years now, and Ryan Jenks gave me an opportunity to put out in video form. So I was really thankful for the amount of positive feedback, just for me, for the systems, and for what we're trying to do. And I really appreciate it. So I wanted to jump in on this Monday update and say thanks to everyone for the positive support. Thanks to a lot of the other Canyoneers that are continuing the education with supportive systems and comments and carrying on and the reposts and all that stuff. This is going way better than what I could have even hoped. And the only thing I want to do is spark conversation and get people thinking in the right direction. So thank you for that. On a second note, I've been picked up by American Alpine Institute based out of Bellingham, Washington. I will be doing a basic intro to canyoneering course. The link is below in the description, so please check it out, sign up for the course. There are other courses and stuff available. V7 online course, the introductory one, is free. Highly recommend it. That's how I got started in a lot of my training with Andrew Humphreys and George overseas. It's an internationally known base of information. They do have a level 2 paying course, and I highly recommend checking that out. It's completely online. It's a good subsidy to getting on-hands, in-person training with anybody, but it will be a really good baseline to give you an idea what you're getting to. Locally up here, we also got the Portland Mazamas is another organization that is great. They have a candidating program and support good education and have a solid foundation. And the Seattle Mountaineers Group has a really great candidating program, and they do courses as well. So if you're looking to get into candidating in Pacific Northwest, please check some of them out. If you haven't already, take a look at the textbook. I have links to all these places and a lot of other information in that textbook that go well beyond the videos. So again, thanks everybody for the positive support. Thanks for pushing education, and you just motivated me to keep doing this and putting out more videos that I want to do, and maybe looking into a lot of the stuff that I've seen in the comments and answer some questions.
Now I just had one last question for you guys. Do you guys like my nuts? Happy Designs put nuts on some underwear for me just to see what kind of different swag we can do, because you can get this shirt and this hat and stuff on the site, hownottoswag.com. This was funny. It feels like you're 6 wearing Superman underwear, but with nuts. I'm now gonna go put these back in the laundry and find out how many of you guys make it to the end of these videos by putting Wednesday's video early up here in the corner for you. Cheers.